Welcome to Lazy But GK One-Liner, your smart stop for quick, easy, and powerful GK. This X Factor section brings high-scoring one-liners from all major areas of ancient India, regional kingdoms and dynasties, art and architecture, religion and philosophy, trade and economy, inscriptions, science and medicine, society and daily life, military and diplomacy, and coins and culture. A perfect all-in-one booster for exams. Let's get started and score full marks the lazy but way. Section 1. Regional kingdoms and dynasties. Question 1. Who founded the Shunga dynasty after the decline of the Mauryan Empire in ancient India? Answer: Pushyamitra Shunga. Question 2. Name a major Satvahan ruler in ancient India who was known for promoting maritime trade. Answer: Gautamiputra Shatkarni. Question 3. Which dynasty ruled the region of Kalinga in ancient India after the Mauryan Empire? Answer: Mahameghvahana dynasty. Question 4. Who was the founder of the Western Ganga dynasty in ancient southern India? Answer: Konginivarman Madhva. Question 5. Name a prominent Pallav ruler in South India who was well known for his contributions to temple building. Answer: Mahendravarman I. Question 6. Which South Indian dynasty constructed the shore temple at Mahabalipuram? Answer: Pallav dynasty. Question 7. Who was a prominent ruler of the Kushan dynasty in ancient North India and Central Asia? Answer: Kanishka. Question 8. Which Satvahan king is mentioned in the Nasik inscriptions of ancient India? Answer: Hala. Question 9. Which dynasty ruled eastern India and built the famous Konark Sun Temple? Answer: Eastern Ganga dynasty. Question 10. Name a kingdom in central India that was famous for issuing some of the earliest coins. Answer: Chedi Kingdom. Section 2. Art, Architecture and Sculpture. Question 11. Name the Buddhist rock-cut caves located in the Uprakot area of Gujarat. Answer: Uprakot Caves. Question 12. Which ancient Indian dynasty originally patronized the Barabar caves, with later Shunga and post-Mauryan modifications? Answer: Mauryans, Shunga and post-Mauryan modifications. Question 13. What is a key stylistic feature of Gandhar school sculpture in ancient Indian art? Answer: Hellenistic artistic influence. Question 14. Name a South Indian cave temple style that predates the structural temples of the Chola period. Answer: Rock-cut Ratha or Mandapa style. Question 15. Which river in India is associated with early Buddhist monastic complexes such as Barabar and Bhandeva? Answer: the Falgu, Niranjan, river. Question 16. What is a prominent feature of Satvahan period stupas in ancient Indian art? Answer: Amravati style carvings. Question 17. Which materials were commonly used for early Kushan coins in ancient India? Answer: primarily gold and copper, while silver coins were minted in certain regions. Question 18. Name a temple that is known as an early example of the Dravida style of temple architecture. Answer: Shore Temple, Mahabalipuram. Question 19. In Buddhist architecture, what does the Sanchi stupa primarily symbolize? Answer: symbol of the Buddha's presence, housing relics that were originally distributed among 8 caskets after his cremation. Question 20. Name a Jain religious site in Karnataka that is famous for its rock-cut architecture. Answer: Shravanbelgola. Section 3. Religion and philosophy. Question 21. In the context of Jainism, who was Mahavir? Answer: 24th Tirthankar of Jainism. Question 22. Name a Buddhist sect that flourished in the Gandhar region of ancient India. Answer: Mahasanghika. Question 23. Which ancient Indian philosophical school propagated the doctrines of the Ajivikas? Answer: Ajivika school. Question 24. What is the primary concept emphasized in early tantric traditions in ancient India? Answer: rituals and esoteric practices for liberation. Question 25. Which site in Bihar is closely associated with Vajrayana Buddhism in ancient India? Answer: Bodh Gaya. Question 26. who is regarded as the author of the early tantric text called the Yog Shikha? Answer: unknown, an early tantric text. Question 27. What is the main philosophical idea of the Lokayata, Charvaka, school in ancient India? Answer: materialism and skepticism. Question 28. Which deity became prominent in early sun-worshipping cults in ancient India? Answer: Surya. Question 29. Which Jain text discusses the duties and conduct of monks in Jainism? Answer: Uttaradhyana Sutra. Question 30. In ancient Indian religious and philosophical texts, what does the concept of ahimsa signify? Answer: non-violence toward all beings. Section 4. Trade and economy. Question 31. Name a port city under the Satavahan rulers that played an important role in trade in ancient India. Answer: Kalyan. Question 32. Which important commodity was exported from southern India to the Roman Empire in ancient times? Answer: pepper. Question 33. Name a type of guild, Shreni, that was famous for trade and craftsmanship in ancient India. Answer: potters' guilds or metalworkers' guilds. Question 34. Which dynasty in post-Mauryan India issued punch-marked coins to facilitate trade? Answer: Shunga and post-Mauryan rulers. Question 35. What role did river routes play in the trade network of early India? Answer: facilitated inland transportation and commerce. Question 36. Name a region in ancient India where inland trade particularly thrived. Answer: Magad. Question 37. Which dynasty encouraged maritime trade in the Bay of Bengal region of ancient India? Answer: Eastern Gangas. Question 38. Name a type of currency used in early South India during ancient times. Answer: lead or copper coins, pana. Question 39. What kind of goods were imported into ancient India from Central Asia? Answer: horses and luxury textiles. Question 40. Name a trade good that is recorded in Satavahan inscriptions from ancient India. Answer: gold, cotton, and grains. Section 5. Inscriptions and epigraphy. Question 41. Name a copper plate inscription issued by the Satvahans that records royal achievements or grants. Answer: Nasik Prashasti. Question 42. Which Mauryan inscription records Emperor Ashoka's edicts written in the Prakrit language? Answer: Rock Edict 13. Question 43. Name a Gupta period copper plate inscription that records land grants and royal deeds. Answer: Allahabad Grant inscription. Question 44. Which language was used in the Hathigumfa inscription of King Kharvela? Answer: Prakrit. Question 45. Who commissioned the famous Junagadh rock inscription in western India? Answer: Rudradman I. Question 46. Which script was first systematically standardized and widely used in Ashokan inscriptions? Answer: Brahmi. Question 47. Name a well-known Kushanira inscription that provides information about their rulers and territories. Answer: Rabatak inscription. Question 48. Which ancient Indian dynasty used Aramaic along with Prakrit in some of its inscriptions for foreign audiences? Answer: Mauryan, for foreign audiences. Question 49. Which type of inscriptions in ancient India commonly recorded administrative rules and land grants? Answer: copper plate grants. Question 50. Name an inscription from ancient India that explicitly mentions tax collection. Answer: Rummindei pillar inscription of Emperor Ashoka. Question 51. Name a Tamil literary work composed during the Post-Sangam period of ancient South India. Answer: Silapadikram. Question 52. Which Sanskrit play, dealing with the politics of the Mauryan court, predates the works of Kalidasa? Answer: Mudra Rakshasa by Vishakdatta. Its exact date is uncertain, but scholars commonly place it between the late 4th and 8th centuries CE, around or slightly after Kalidasa. Question 53. Name an ancient Indian astronomical text composed by the mathematician astronomer Aryabhatta. Answer: Aryabhatiya by Aryabhatta. Question 54. Which Prakrit inscriptional text provides information about local administration in post-Mauryan India? Answer: Hathigumpha inscription. Question 55. Name a poetic work that vividly describes early Indian city life and is associated with King Hala. Answer: Gaha Sattasai by King Hala. Question 56. Which ancient text written by a Greek-speaking author mentions maritime trade and navigation involving Indian ports? Answer: Periplus of the Erythraean Sea, mentions India. Question 57. Name a commentary on Vedic rituals from post-Vedic times that elaborates on sacrificial procedures. Answer: Shatpatha Brahman. Question 58. Which Dharmashastra text outlines the duties and social position of women in ancient Indian society? Answer: Manusmriti, sections on women. Question 59. Name a regional epic tradition that predates or is earlier in origin than the Mahabharata. Answer: Ramayana, early versions. Question 60. Which category of texts in ancient India provides guidelines for judicial and civil procedures? Answer: Dharmasutras. Section 6. Science, Mathematics and Medicine. Question 61. Name a famous mathematician from post-Mauryan India who made significant contributions to astronomy and mathematics. Answer: Aryabhatta. Question 62. Which text is traditionally credited with first clearly recording the concept of zero in ancient Indian mathematics? Answer: Aryabhatiya. Question 63. Name a physician from the early Gupta period, other than Charka, who contributed to ancient Indian medicine. Answer: Vagbhata. Question 64. Which classical Ayurvedic text describes surgical procedures using metal instruments in detail? Answer: Sushruta Sanhita. Question 65. Name an important astronomical observation or calculation from the Gupta era, associated with Aryabhatta. Answer: Calculation of solar and lunar eclipses by Aryabhatta. Question 66. Which ancient Indian scholar contributed significantly to the study of astronomy and calendar systems? Answer: Varhamihira. Question 67. Name a classical Indian work that describes animal anatomy and veterinary science. Answer: Shalihotra Sanhita. Question 68. Which ancient Indian dynasty is known to have patronized the compilation and development of medical texts? Answer: Gupta dynasty. Question 69. Name a mathematical concept mentioned in the Sabhasutras that is equivalent to the Pythagorean theorem. Answer: Pythagorean theorem, for altar construction. Question 70. Which ancient Indian text discusses geometric principles used for constructing ritual altars? Answer: Bodhayana Sulbasutra. Section 7. Society and daily life. Question 71. Name a type of archaeological evidence that shows urban social stratification in early Indian cities. Answer: Residential divisions in Harappan cities. Question 72. Which types of artifacts from ancient Indian sites indicate the presence of entertainment and leisure activities? Answer: Terracotta toys and dice. Question 73. Name a craftsperson community or guild from ancient India that was involved in pottery. Answer: Potters' guilds, Kumbhakaras. Question 74. Which kind of evidence suggests that forms of slavery or bonded labor existed in ancient Indian society? Answer: Inscriptions mentioning bonded laborers. Question 75. Name a common housing style found in post-Harappan urban towns in ancient India. Answer: Courtyard-style houses were common in many ancient Indian towns. Question 76. Which archaeological items indicate the diet of people in Mauryan India? Answer: Animal bones, grains, and pottery utensils. Question 77. Name an early form of taxation in ancient India apart from land revenue. Answer: Trade tariffs. Question 78. Which ancient urban site in India shows evidence of communal bathing facilities? Answer: Dholavira and other urban centers. Question 79. Name an early musical instrument used in ancient Indian culture. Answer: Veena or flute. Question 80. Which kind of evidence suggests that guilds played an important role in society in ancient India? Answer: inscriptions recording endowments by trade guilds. Section 8. Military and diplomacy. Question 81. Which weapon was commonly used in Vedic warfare according to early Indian texts? Answer: bow and arrow. Question 82. Name a famous war or battle described in early Indian, Vedic or related, literature that is also linked to later Sangam traditions. Answer: Battle of 10 Kings, Dasrajana. Question 83. In the Mauryan administration, which officer was responsible for leading the army? Answer: Senapati. Question 84. Name a post-Mauryan kingdom in ancient India that was especially famous for its cavalry forces. Answer: Kushan Empire. Question 85. Which Gupta inscription records the military achievements of Samudragupta? Answer: Allahabad Pillar inscription, Samudragupta. Question 86. Name an early Indian city that was fortified with defensive walls. ANSSWR, Rajgir. Question 87. Which strategy was commonly used during sieges in ancient Indian warfare? Answer: digging trenches and battering walls. Question 88. Name an early political alliance formed between two kingdoms in ancient India. Answer: Magadhvajji alliance. Question 89. Which type of evidence suggests the existence of mercenary troops in ancient Indian warfare? Answer: Arthashastra mentions hired soldiers. Question 90. Name a treaty or diplomatic mission involving ancient India that is recorded in textual or inscriptional sources. Answer: Megasthene's embassy to Chandragupta Maurya. Section 9. Coins, festivals and miscellaneous. Question 91. Which type of ancient Indian coin is known for depicting the image of a humped bull? Answer: punch-marked coin. Question 92. Name a traditional Indian festival that is associated with the harvest season. Answer: Pongal or Sankranti. Question 93. Which type of metal object from post-Harappan India indicates ritual use in religious contexts? Answer: bronze figurines. Question 94. Name an archaeological site in ancient India that shows evidence of gaming or sports, such as board games. Answer: Mohenjo-daro, board games. Question 95. Which craft from ancient India indicates active trade with Central Asia? Answer: bead making. Question 96. Name an early seal from the Indus Valley Civilization that shows religious symbolism. Answer: Pashupti seal from Mohenjo-daro. Question 97. Which type of artifact from ancient India suggests that literacy extended to some non-elite sections of society? Answer: ostraka with inscriptions. Question 98. Name an ancient Indian site that shows evidence of standardized weights and measures used in trade. Answer: Lothal. Question 99. Which rock painting site in India is known for depictions that include astronomical or symbolic motifs? Answer: Bhimbetka rock shelters. Question 100. Name a temple tank, Pushkarini, in India that is associated with ritual architecture at a famous historical site. Answer: Hampi Pushkarini.